Alpha.
A couple of months ago, right after I joined the team here at Jan Innovation Studio, we went to Klein Jan, which is in the Kalahari, and we partnered with At Home to showcase some of their products. We created a masterclass where we share 4 recipes inspired by the Kalahari. This was filmed with the Sony FX3 range. I think we filmed this with the 24-70 2.8 G Master and also the 70-200mm, also 2.8 image stabilization built in. Amazing, but I'm not going to dive too deep into the tech stuff because I feel like that just speaks for itself. On the day, Alvain, our creative director, came to us and said, hey, we need to switch some stuff up. And right there, he decided it's not going to be as practical step by step as we usually do it, but it's more going to be a voiceover thing where we get beautiful shots. And that helped Jan also just to have a little bit more, not creative freedom, but freedom to do what he loves doing, which he is the best at.
Serving something is so important to me, the way we present it, we put it together, and almost thinking out of the box sometimes. This is served on an edible Kalahari sand. I'm not giving you that recipe, not right now.
Even though everyone is talented, we believe that when you work with someone, you'll always create something better than when you work alone. So behind the cameras, there were 3 junior chefs, just cleaning, making sure that Jan can do his thing, that everything is neat, so one looks good on camera and that the space does not become cluttered with everything around him. Looking back at everything in the end, it was a very therapeutic experience with the music and the cuts and everything that went into this video. And I think this is exactly what we wanted to do with the audience. Like when they watch this, whether it's an at-home client or someone from outside, we want them to not only learn how to make these recipes, but also have an experience of Basquiat House and Klein Jan. And I believe that Jenna, who was spearheading this whole project, again, not alone, but she is the genius behind this in the edit. She did that perfectly. I'm not going to go too much into the cinematic experience that we created and everything, but from there we came back to Cape Town and did all the copy and the voiceovers here. This was mainly because we knew how much it would help Jan to be in the environment and focus on where he was in that moment. And again, like I feel the same as Jenna. On the day, she said, usually when you look at food, you look at it from the top like this, because this is how we eat. But she said, no, let's kind of try and get different angles. So Hunfred, who is our in-house photographer and deputy editor for the journal, and so much more, he loves an HMI, and I think for this specific project, he was shining it through the window, so it kind of added this lens flare, anamorphic lens flare, which is so beautiful, and it actually looked natural. It wasn't a forced thing, it looked like the sun was coming in early in the morning, and I love that. There were challenges on the day, not going to lie. The house is beautiful, it's charming, but for a film crew, it isn't very big. It's a small team, and even though it is a small team, usually what happens is you cross each other's lines and then none of us can use the footage in the future because production people. So the solution was for the camera that's right in front of me now, the 70-200, put it on a tripod as it is now and frame Jan in the kitchen through the doorway. And to me, like those shots, I think I would watch the entire recipe being made through that shot. It's unconventional, but it is creative and extremely practical. And I think when you create, those are things that we want to think about. Jenna and I talk a lot because I have a way of doing things and she has a way of doing things. And I think that was a perfect moment where it just met practicality, met creativity, and breaking the rules, but also creating a whole new experience for everyone that watched it. As I mentioned earlier, we partnered with At Home for this, so we used some of their products, and product placement also needed to happen. And when I think about product placement, I almost get this weird feeling in my stomach, because yes, it's a psychological thing, but I remember I try and remember one thing. When I was a kid, I was watching and the product placement in that show was so in your face that I, as a kid, I was probably 7-8 years old, asked my mom. I even remember my cousin was at our house, and I asked them, turned to them and said, why do they keep showing this one logo the whole time? I can't even remember what it was. And then they told me about product placement. I was like, it's gonna help me one day. So whenever we do product placement, I just try and stay away from that. And I think the team I know the team did an amazing job doing this. It didn't shout at the people, but it did speak to the people about what the brand stands for, what At Home does, without being too much in your face. Again, just to jump back into the cinematic experience that we created, we are a very small team. Like right now, it is only Jenna and I in here. So I hit the Sony ZV-1 here just so she can get into this also a little bit. So yes, we are a very small team, and the entire team couldn't be there on the day of the shoot. So we had to ask some of the chefs, could you just check if the tally light at the front of the Sony FX3 is on? Because if it stops recording, we're kind of screwed, because we do need a multicam sequence. With that said, Alvin and Jan, who came up with this amazing idea of, hey, let's move away from this step by step. Let's move away from the practicality and create a short film experience that people fall in love with, and not only fall in love with the recipe or not only follow the recipe. Then I feel that just communicated our heart as a brand, as a company so beautifully, especially because everyone bought into it. So I guess my boss told me to say this, that you can say that we found a new recipe for doing master classes. If you know what I'm saying. Thanks.
Awesome.
Okay, great. Dank je Jenna.